In a quaint, rustic cottage nestled in a secluded village lived a 10-year-old girl named Philo, along with her grandmother. Philo wakes up early in a rustic cottage, her brown hair in a messy ponytail. She stretches and yawns, eyes full of determination. Standing on a stool in the cozy kitchen, Philo butters toast and pours fresh milk. Birds chirp outside as she hums cheerfully. Philo helps her grandmother with her slippers and gently combs her gray hair, her face full of concentration and tenderness.
Ooh, hold on. You are going to watch the full story at the end of this tutorial. So you want to create consistent characters like these for your animated stories and books? Well, it's way easier than you think. And with Leonardo AI and ChatGPT, it's now way easier to achieve characters consistency. Today, I'm going to show you my ultimate hack I use in generating consistent characters, and in the end, we're going to blend all together in CapCut. Stick around to the very end because I have 2 bonus tips for you on how you can animate your images and remove the animated video's watermark. Before we get started, guys, this is my very second video on YouTube, so please subscribe if you find value in this video, because I am going to be making a lot of similar tutorials like this to get you mastering free AI tools. Thank you. Now let's jump right in. The most important thing about this method is to give your character a name. Doesn't matter what name is it, but this name should be used throughout your entire prompt. We first want to go to ChatGPT and tell it to create a story script for us based on certain description we give it and a context of how our main character should be. But if you already have your script prepared, then you can skip to the next part of this video, but I'll urge you to follow for learning purpose. I'm just going to ask the GPT to create a short story for me about a girl named Philo. Create a short story of about 30 seconds video play of a girl named Philo, age 10. The story should surround how Philo takes care of her aging grandmother at her very early age. Include scenes and expressions of Philo in every scene. So I think I like this one better, guys. Philo wakes up early in a quaint rustic cottage in a secluded village. So this is the first scene, and this is the second and third and fourth and so on. So the next thing I'm going to do is ask ChatGPT of a brief description of how our character is. Then I will summarize it and use that as the main prompt for all of our scenes in Leonardo AI. Now type in, please give a brief description of Philo's physical morphology. Now we have our character's full description. We have her face, eyes, nose, skin tone, hairstyle, and more. But I'm going to change some few things the way I want it in my own preference. For example, I'm going to change the dress color to purple and hair to red, and finally eyes color to green. Great, so now guys, after blending our character description with our first scene, here's what I came up with. Always make sure to add Pixar style animations or Disney style animations at the end of your prompt, guys, so that your character can have that cinematic 3D style. So let's go ahead now to generate our scenes. Go to Leonardo AI and then paste in our prompt. So like I said earlier, for this first method of generating consistent characters, we are going to stick to one simple rule, and the rule is make sure to give your character a name and stick to that name throughout your entire prompting. In this case, our character name is Philo. Secondly, to generate consistent characters, you must use one of Leonardo AI's models throughout your entire generation process. I'm going to demonstrate that here. We will use 3 different models for different scenes to see how our character appear in each one. The most important thing here is to understand the methods of generating consistent characters no matter what model type you're using. For our first model, let's take the cinematic Kino model, one of my personal favorites. Now change your aspect ratio to 16.9. Now go to advanced and change your model type to Leonardo Diffusion XL. Then go back and click generate. Alright guys, these look good. Let me preview so you can see the similarity in the first 3 photos here, except for the last image that has a green dress, but everything else is perfect. Now one thing you must know, guys, is that no matter how similar our character may look, we cannot generate it 100% similarities. There will always be some little differences, but the most important thing is we have at least enough closeness throughout our scenes. I'm just going to use this one for our first scene because she looks as if she's yawning. You want to stick to the end of this video because I'm going to show you how you can make your characters move. We're going to make little Philo to truly yawn like this in our first scene from the image we generated. So in case your prompt is not giving the kind of result you want, guys, you might want to change the model type. In my case, I changed to Leonardo Lightning, and I was able to generate these images. Just make sure you have the model type on Leonardo Diffusion XL. I'm going to repeat this method for our next scene so you can see. Let's go back to ChatGPT and copy the prompt for our second scene. Now let's paste in our prompt. Pay attention here, guys. The entire description of our character remains the same except for the scene we are going to change. In this case, we are changing Philo wakes up early in the village, leave the entire character description the scene and paste in our next scene. Great. So these look really perfect to me. So like our saying, you're always going to have some manner differences. As you can see, the first and the last images look really similar to our character, but the middle ones aren't, because obviously the dress color is different. We will go with this one because as you can see, it looks really similar, but the AI was trying to respect our script. So instead of keeping Philo's hair scattered from bed, her hair was folded before going to the kitchen to make some milk for grandma, which is not a problem for me. Nice. I'm gonna skip our third scene now and go to the fourth to keep this video short. Now let's change the model type and see how our character will appear similar based on the same exact prompt. I'm doing this demonstration to give you a clue to make sure you stick with whatever model type you're using and make sure your character's name and description stays the same. For this, I'm going to switch to the Phoenix model, keep aspect ratio at 16.9, and let's use the same exact prompt, paste in the prompt for our fourth scene, and now generate. Great. These came out really well, guys. Little Philo and Grandma read a book together, so we have some level of similarity with our character's look from the previous model. But a big difference here is with the hairstyle. The Phoenix model is Leonardo AI's best model at present from the making of this video, because it tries to give you exactly what is included in the prompt, but it still needs some huge improvements. So what I'm going to do now is generate our next scene with the same Phoenix model to see the consistency of our character using this model type, and then next I will show you the second method of generating consistent characters with Leonardo AI. Let's go back to ChatGPT to copy our fifth prompt, go back and paste in our prompt, and generate with the Phoenix model. There you go, guys. So you will find out each model type brings its own unique style to the generation process. That wraps up our first method. The major thing to learn about this method is to make sure you keep your character name and description in tight and change only the scenes and gestures of the character. Let's move on to method 2. This method cannot be used with Leonardo Phoenix model, guys, so we have to switch back to the Lightning model to demonstrate. Feel free to test other models of your choice. To begin, keep your prompt exactly the same and click on the image plus icon here. Next, click on style reference, upload your image you want to reference. When image is done uploading, click generate. Look at these guys. These look really great and really alike to our picture we referenced. I think this looks perfect. I'm going to download this one. So I'm going to use this method to generate our last scene and show you how it turns out. So this is what the generate looks like. This looks really perfect. As you can see, the scene says little Philo climbs in her bed, glancing at a photo of her grandmother. Now all of the results are good, but I'm going to use this one. Here's a pro tip for using image reference. Make sure you click on style and keep the strength on mid or low to keep the similarity 80 to 90%, but do not increase it to high or max, as it will give you a completely different generation from your reference image. And there you have it, guys. That's how we can create consistent characters using Leonardo AI. Now here are the bonuses for you. I will show you how you can animate your characters for free. So to begin animating our characters, guys, is pretty simple. Hop on your browser and search Hyper AI. Then you want to log in. When on their page, I'm just going to log in with my Google account. Next, you will be directed to the Hyper AI homepage. We're going to use the image to video generation feature. So click image to video generation. You can also use the text to video feature, guys, where you enter a prompt to generate a scene. Next, click first frame to insert your image. Then enter a short prompt here to let the AI know what kind or photo you want to animate and what you want the character to be doing. In my case, I'm just going to type in, a little girl wakes up in the morning as she yawns and stretches, and then click create. As you can see, our video is generating now. All we have to do is sit back and give it some time. So now our video is generated, guys, as you can see, but we have a problem with the Hyper AI watermark in the top right corner because we're on the free plan. Guys, if you want to take your books and stories animations to another level, go watermark free and get your video rendered in 4K, then you can consider going with the paid plan of Hyper AI. The link is going to be in the description, but for now, let me show you how you can remove the watermark on the free plan of Hyper AI. Quickly type in 123 apps in your search bar. When on the homepage, scroll down and find remove logo from video, the click. Next, click open file to upload your video. When your file is uploaded, click and drag your mouse to draw a shape over the region with the watermark and then click apply. Let's take a preview. As you can see, the watermark is no longer visible, but the video quality is very poor. So let's go ahead and save our video, click export and save. Your video is now saved without the watermark. Notice that the quality of the video is very low, so if you want to learn how to increase the quality of your video for free, I created a separate video here showing you how to do that with vMake AI. I'll leave a link on this video where you can go check it out. Now let's take a look at our final story.
In a quaint, rustic cottage nestled in a secluded village lived a 10-year-old girl named Philo, along with her grandmother. Philo wakes up early in a rustic cottage, her brown hair in a messy ponytail. She stretches and yawns, eyes full of determination. Standing on a stool in the cozy kitchen, Philo butters toast and pours fresh milk. Birds chirp outside as she hums cheerfully. Philo helps her grandmother with her slippers and gently combs her gray hair, her face full of concentration and tenderness. The next day, Philo and her grandmother sit on the porch surrounded by flowers. Philo reads aloud from a storybook, her expressions animated. It's the evening. Philo and her grandmother walk through their vibrant garden. Philo holds her grandmother's hand, pointing out flowers and birds with an enthusiastic grin. As they prepare for sleep at night, Philo helps her grandmother into bed, tucking her in with care. She kisses her grandmother's forehead, eyes filled with love. Before bedtime, Philo sits by the window, looking at the starry night sky. She smiles softly, reflecting on the day with a mix of exhaustion and satisfaction. And finally, Philo climbs into her own bed, glancing at a picture of her and her grandmother. She closes her eyes, content and ready to care for her grandmother again tomorrow.
So that's it, guys. If you have made it to this far, I want to say thanks for sticking around. Please subscribe if this video was helpful, and if you're interested in contents like these so that you don't miss my next upload, thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.